Why did millions of people start listening to Dr. Phil McGrath, a psychologist nobody had ever heard of, and suddenly trusted his advice on their marriage, their lives, their kids? It wasn't credentials, it wasn't his PhD, it was one thing: Oprah. And that tells us something really important about how human connection really works, and something that most leaders and communicators completely miss out on. Today, we are going to be looking at chapter 5 of Everyone Communicates View Connect. And John lays out the truth right away in the book by saying, cannot count on dumb luck to connect with people. If you want to be a better communicator, a better leader, you need to be intentional with your connection. And that starts with answering two questions. Number one, why will people give me their attention in the first place? Number two, how do I keep it once I get the attention? Today, we are going to be looking at the 5 factors that earn you your audience. Number one, relationships, who you know. Dr. Phil is a perfect example of who you know. Oprah opened the door for Dr. Phil, but his own credentials kept him in the place. But if not for Oprah opening the door, he probably wouldn't have had this visibility. I often think about my own corporate career, where for the first 10 years in my corporate career, I kind of assumed that if I do my work, someone is going to come, bring this tiara and lay it on my head. And somehow I assumed that merit will get you to places. But interestingly enough, merit alone cannot do the work. You need to build relationships. You cannot sit in a corner, do the work. You're probably going above and beyond, but that alone will not take you to higher places. It's the people you know and the door that they could open for you. And in the corporate world, they call it sponsors, mentors, and those type of people who would advocate for you in order for you to be in places. Of course, you should be good in what you do, but being good in what you do would not give you the visibility as people could. So I want you to think of relationship as a key. The key that opens the door. You could be this wonderful person, but if no one knows you, your growth is stunted. And as a result, you will not go on to do bigger and better things. So I would encourage you to work on this. The one factor which is probably the most difficult in my opinion, relationships, because sometimes you invest in it. Maybe you're investing this relationship thinking, is this my Oprah? But I think if we are very transactional that way, thinking, could this be my Oprah? Then we completely miss out the point of relationships. I think we need to be intentional with our relationships, but also not keep looking for that Oprah, but be an Oprah ourselves. Like, how can I help someone else while I'm in that journey? And you'll be surprised the doors that would be open for you as a result of it. One of the things that John often says is whenever he meets someone, he would ask, who do you know that I should know? That's something you could ask. Think about the relationships that you have. Think about the problems that you're solving or the roadblocks that have come your way. You could share it with your circle and ask, who do you know that could help me break this? Sometimes I feel we are so self-sufficient that we don't reach out and ask for help. But when we reach out and ask for help, you'll be surprised how many people are willing to go above and beyond to do that for you. So number one, relationships, who you know. Number two, insights. Someone could open the door for you, but it's your own credibility that would keep you in the room. If you think about it, Benjamin Franklin is a perfect example. He didn't really go to school. He probably did 2 grades and that's about it. But he was voracious reader. He read about all kinds of things. He was willing to share his insights and knowledge. And as a result, he became this resource person for so many things. And that's what would happen when we are building our insight. Then we could be this beacon of hope and light to other people when we are willing to share. So don't just keep it to yourself. Make sure that you share it with others. Factor 3, success, what you have done. John says that when he started his career, he never thought that he was going to be a speaker. He kept doing things well and he was successful in things. And as a result, success begets success. So something for you to remember, when you are successful, people are going to come seek you. And that will take you to different and better places because success begets success. So what you have done is a great credibility for you to keep staying in rooms and keep growing. Factor 4, ability, what you can do. If you think about great players like Roger Federer, he endorses a watch and right away people are buying that. Roger Federer is a tennis player. What does he know about cars or what does he know about a watch? But then people are taking his advice because he's already good in something, and somehow him being good in something makes him credible for other things. So you being good in one field suddenly gives you the credibility to speak in other areas, even though you probably don't have much knowledge about it, and your word is taken for it because you are already good in one area. Even though you probably have no idea about other areas, people will go by the words that you say because they have learned to admire you. And as a result, if you say this is a better car to buy, they're probably going to buy the car because of what you are saying. Factor 5, sacrifice. How we have lived. Whenever I think of this, I think of Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa lived in the slums of India. She helped the poorest of the poor. She dressed their wounds. She took care of them. She gave them dignity in their death. And as a result, she could stand in the White House and say things against what they were believing, and people would accept her speech because her sacrifice was so powerful. Even though they may disagree with some of the views that she has, people would still listen. That's the power of sacrifice. So think about your own journey and some of the pain or difficulty that you have faced, and as a result you now have credibility to speak into someone's life because you have sacrificed yourselves. You have lived the life and people are willing to take your word when you have made the sacrifice. So we looked at the 5 factors. If there is one takeaway for you, I would encourage you to focus on relationships. In my personal opinion, relationships are the key. People I connect with on a regular basis, if you ask them, hey, make sure that you read the book, they can go read the book cover to cover. That's insight. But if you ask them build relationships, that's hard. You can easily measure reading a book, but how do you measure building a relationship? That's harder. As a result, people don't work on those areas and they are putting a cap on it. A friend of mine on a lunch and learn just said, in terms of skills, you're probably a 10 out of 10. But in terms of relationship, if you're only a 4 out of 10, that's your cap. You cannot go past it. You may think you're doing wonderful. You may think you're self-sufficient, but relationships are the key. It is going to open doors for you. I would encourage you to be the Oprah for someone. Open doors for other people. You'll be surprised. Doors will be open for you. It's almost like what you sow is what you reap. Don't serve with an agenda in mind. Just serve. Be happy to help other people. Be the Oprah for others. And as a result, you would be blessed. If this resonated with you, I'd love to continue the conversation. I'm a leadership and communication coach. I'm based in Calgary. I work with leaders and organizations who want to communicate with more clarity, more confidence, and more connection. You can find me at lovelynjohnson.com. And if you're ready to go deeper, you could book a discovery call with me. Like this video if this content resonated with you. Subscribe so you don't miss on content like this. I'll see you soon.